Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. Hello and welcome to week one of the 2019 NFL season. And as I said yesterday, Thursday don't count because the game that we saw between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears was an excuse of a game offensively. That's not a real football game to me. But today, we just saw the Tennessee Titans defeat the Cleveland Browns by a score of 43-13. We in business. Now look, okay, I had the Tennessee Titans losing this football game. I believed that their offensive line deficiencies were going to be too much to handle going up against this Cleveland Browns defense and specifically their defensive line. And that was very true early. I thought we were going to have a hard time getting going offensively after we struggled in the preseason, and that was true early. But what proved late was that, man, this team is just so much more disciplined than the Cleveland Browns. They're so much more ready to compete at this stage than the Cleveland Browns. And right now, they're just a better team than the Cleveland Browns. And that's something that I should have saw coming. Now, I've seen this Tennessee Titans team, this same team that's gone 9-7 now for the past 3 seasons. I've seen them lose week 1 in the past 3 seasons pretty much the same way. The offense can't do anything. The defense is good, not great, and they end up, losing about 26-16. They lost to the Oakland Raiders. Minnesota Vikings was a score similar to that, and then last year was the Miami Dolphins. I think it was 27-20. It was ugly. The offense is always ugly. It's never really ready to go, and then week 2 we then come out and we show up. I expected a similar story, but what really happened was the first quarter. You were getting outplayed. It looked like that was going to be the story again, and then everything snapped into place. Everything snapped, and then all of a sudden we were ready to roll. We were ready to go, and the Tennessee Titans won this game. So we're going to recap this game, and I'm also going to go through the early games, just the results. Obviously, I haven't watched the games yet. I just watched a little Red Zone, and, whenever they do the game breaks during the telecast of the Tennessee Titans versus Browns game. So just discussing the results and my thoughts on the results and what we've seen thus far in the NFL. But, man, is it nice to have NFL football back. So let's start with, we always go statistically, but we'll start with the story of the game. And again, look at the first quarter. I was concerned. I was seeing exactly what I thought I was going to see for the entire football game. Our offensive line was having problems going against this Browns defensive line. Myles Garrett was absolutely killing Dennis Kelly. We tried to provide him with help. Dion Lewis and Derrick Henry tried to provide, blocking in the passing game. He also tried to throw like Michael Pruitt and, other tight ends over there. And still, Myles Garrett was finding his way through. Larry Gonjobi found his way through. Sheldon Richardson found his way through. And it was concerning early. And then also our defense led up a very strong touchdown drive to the Cleveland Browns. That was the first drive of the game, right? Yeah. And maybe it was the second. But, they just went down the field. Baker Mayfield was slinging that rock. And I was like, all right, I think we're getting into a shootout today. Marcus Mariota, baby, wanted to throw that rock. And then initially, he was getting sacked. And the thing is with Marcus Mariota today, I see some people saying he didn't have his best game. And yeah, he didn't have his best game, but there's some nitpicking going on with Marcus Mariota, people. I mean, you people can call me a Marcus Mariota apologist all you want. There's nitpicking going on with Marcus Mariota. I mean, are you kidding me? So he missed, according to me, I think he missed 3, maybe 4 throws. One was the end zone, like way over the head of A.J. Brown that I guess was a throwaway. I guess that's really what it was. One was the miss to Tajay Sharp. That was the corner route that was really highlighted during the telecast. Tony Romo pointed out and everything. That was a rush throw. He didn't trust his protection. He didn't step in the pocket. He made that throw earlier than he should have. Absolutely, that one's completely on Marcus Mariota. That's not a good play. 100%, I'm with you there. And then there was the high throw to Corey Davis. First of all, I think Corey Davis has to make that catch. It was over the middle of the field. It hit his hands, and he didn't even have to jump. I think he has to make that catch, 100%. I mean, this guy thinks he's a Pro Bowl wide receiver. He has 0 catches today. He had 0. Zilch. Nada. And I know a lot of you people are in 12, 14, team fantasy leagues. My God. Some of you probably started Corey Davis as your flex today. I hope you didn't. That's a big old goose egg for Corey Davis today. So, look, I thought Mariota played well. I mean, I'm going to give him an A. But, dude, he had 3 touchdowns. He hit these guys in the red zone whenever he had to. I give him at least a B+ today. at least a B plus. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And by the way, I'll agree this isn't his best performance, but this is why his stats don't mean anything, or not maybe don't mean anything, but they don't mean nearly as much as people think that they do. He had 3 touchdowns today. He had 11 all of last year. Right? So quarterbacks have these 3 touchdown games where they didn't play that great, but they did enough and they won the game. Mariota had plenty of games last year just like this. The difference was he didn't have Delaney Walker in the red zone. Now he has Delaney Walker in the red zone and he's getting touchdowns. Last year he couldn't get touchdowns, so we just handed off to Derrick Henry instead, and Derrick Henry got all the touchdowns. That's just the difference. That's the difference there. So look, I still like Marcus Mariota, people. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And I thought he was focused. I thought he was laser focused. Whenever he would get sacked or a bad play would happen, he would get right back up, get to the the line of scrimmage, huddle up, whatever, quickly moving. Yeah, he was coordinating people. I thought he was doing well. That's just me, but I thought he was doing well. We look at the running back position, Derrick Henry. Now, we didn't run him enough, to be quite honest with you, but that's what it felt like. But, you look at the final stat sheet, he had 19 carries, and we only threw the ball 24 times, but I thought we should have ran him more early, just a little more. But obviously, this is a guy that we know needs to get going. But then, obviously, when he had his receiving touchdown, I mean, my goodness, 75 yards, it was beautiful. And I told you people when he got drafted, everyone wants to say that he's a big bruising running back, and he certainly is, but he's more of a guy that's going to hit a hole, and he's gone. Like, he's a speed guy. He's a 4.5 guy that can, maybe even 4.40. I think he ran a 4.54. But, this is a guy that's going to go into, I think it was 4.4 actually. Maybe like 4.49. This is a guy that's going to absolutely run away from people. Just get him into space. We got him into space there, and he absolutely ran away, and you'll love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Deion Lewis, I'm over Deion Lewis. And I said this preseason, I'm over Deion Lewis. I'm done with Deion Lewis. I think we can find a better receiving back than Deion Lewis. I'm done with Deion Lewis. I'm over it. He had like 3 carries for 7 yards today. He had the drop today. He had plenty of drops last season. I'm over Deion Lewis. I think we can move on. I think we can find someone for less money. I'm over Deion Lewis. I'm done with Deion Lewis right now. So, I'm just over him right now. Wide receivers. Okay, here we go. A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown. Now, look, I saw some people on Twitter, specifically one person, Rob Greenlaw, who's a guy that's very popular in Titans Twitter, says that A.J. Brown is the best receiver on the Tennessee Titans right now. Now, I'm not going to go that far, but man, whenever this guy gets the ball, you can feel it. It's electric. Man, this guy is a playmaker, dog. I mean, wow. Okay, someone told me on Twitter I'm just overreacting because this is the first time we've had a wide receiver in a while. Perhaps. But come on, man. You can feel it. It's electric. I mean, this guy is electric on that football field. You can't bring this guy down. I mean, are you kidding me? They were trying to bring this guy down. He wasn't going down. Not today. Not today. He was incredible. Staying on his feet, making big plays. 3 receptions for 100 yards. 100 yards in his debut. I don't think Corey Davis had a 100-yard game his rookie year. And then last year he had a couple. But that's it. This guy's doing it day one. A.J. Brown, man. This guy's going to make a difference, dog. I mean, seriously, people. Am I overreacting? I was just in love with A.J. Brown today. He's a beast. He's a beast. I can't wait to see more. I'm just smiling from ear to ear because it's finally nice to have an electric guy in the wide receiver room. And I thought that Corey Davis was going to be that for us. He wasn't. It's unfortunate. But A.J. Brown, man, it's electric, baby. You can't deny it. So outside of him, though, Corey Davis, again, 0 catches. And I'm okay with Corey Davis, right? It's just disappointing. He can't have 0 catches for 0 yards. That's not in one game. And he had that in today's game. There should not be one game a year where Corey Davis has this type of stat line, and he had it today. So, whatever. We'll watch that moving forward for sure. But no, don't need to overreact yet. Is A.J. Brown the best wide receiver on the Titans? I won't say it yet, but it's electric. All right, so Adam Humphries was quiet, had a first down, but it was a good first down, so I like to see that. Jonnu Smith looked good, actually, on that one catch that he had. He got some extra yards after the catch, but I'm still not particularly high on Jonnu Smith. Sorry, but it was a nice catch. I like that. Offensive line, it struggled early, and then, it got going late. The good thing is there's, next week shouldn't be too difficult for them either, but then we will face Jacksonville after that. So we got to get it together. We got to get it going. Hopefully when the chemistry comes in. Look, Roger Saffold's a Pro Bowl level left guard. He needs to help out Dennis Kelly more. Right, I mean, he should be helping him out more. There should be more going on there. So hopefully we're able to improve that situation. The offensive line could definitely be better. And I think, again, that's why Marcus Mariota was a little suppressed early in this game. I mean, you saw the game. He didn't trust his offensive line early. He was getting sacked early, and that threw him off on some of these throws. And that's why he missed the throw to Tajay Sharp. That's why he was, a little antsy, but I thought he maintained his composure pretty damn well, actually, for a guy that's been injured, for a guy that has everything on the line. I thought he played well considering all of that. So, I don't know. I'm still, lukewarm on the offensive line at best, but there are signs of improvement in the second half, so we'll see what happens next week. Defensively, okay, Cameron Wake can play. He can play. He's pretty good. Yeah, this guy's not done. He has plenty left in the tank, man. Cameron Wake. I was asleep, but now I'm awake. This guy can play. And he was just, bursting with some speed and such tenacity, such ferocity. They couldn't contain him. Wow. 2.5 sacks today. It was great. I think Harold Landry, let me check the stat sheet right now. I think he also came down with the sack today. Or maybe he got a half a sack. Oh, actually, he came down with nothing. I thought he combined with Cameron Wake on a sack. Maybe it was a penalty, actually, because the Browns, Lord knows they had plenty of penalties today. But also, Sharif Finch, man, he played great. He had a sack today. He got consistent pressure as well. Love seeing that. So the pass rush right now, it's okay. Hell, it's pretty damn good. Especially when you consider the fact that we still have Logan Ryan and Kenny Vaccaro who come down and, have safety sacks and, do things from the safety position. So you have to love that to me right now. Pass rush looking good, and then defensive backs looking fantastic, looking great. My man catches no balls, right? That's their catchphrase, and they're living up to it, man. Malcolm Butler, Logan Ryan, Kevin Byard. Interception, interception, interception. One for each. And that's what we want to see. And Byard, Jesus, he took that ball away like a wide receiver. He looked like Odell Beckham on that play. Logan Ryan, Jesus, strong hands as well. Malcolm Butler, I want that. I'm taking it. My man catches no balls. Wow, this is how our secondary should play. I mean, they gave us some plays for sure, but ultimately we know this is the bend and break defense. We know that. We understand that. That's Dean Pease. That's his move. That's a good move. As long as, again, you don't break, you end up with some turnovers, you win the game. That's what happened today. And, overall, this defense, linebackers weren't doing too much today. Thank God the Browns didn't run the football enough. If they did, I think we would have got exposed because Nick Chubb was having some good 7-8 yard runs. I thought the Browns should have ran the ball a lot more. So linebackers, I didn't see too much, in terms of inside linebackers. But, we'll watch that moving forward. But I'm still fine with them, obviously. Look, the thing about our defense is, it's not like the Chicago Bears defense. It's not like the Baltimore Ravens defense. It's not like even the Buffalo Bills defense. But it's pretty damn good. It's a top 10 defense. And now that the offense is finally elevated, that makes us a contender. I mean, with a top 10 defense, as long as the offense can be, at least average in the league, that's a contender, people. I mean, it's not even top 10. It's at least top 7. I mean, honestly, it's going to borderline top 5, and it might end up being top 5. I'd love to see it. And with Jeffrey Simmons, first-round pick this year coming in soon, we might see it. We might see it. So I'm excited about this defense. They're doing their job. This was Tennessee Titans football improved. Right now, how improved it's going to be for the entire season, I don't know. But I recognize this team today, and I recognize it was improved. I recognize that I saw A.J. Brown and Delaney Walker on the field making an impact, making a difference. Cameron Wake on the field making an impact, making a difference. This is an improved football team. It's only one game. It's only one game. And Lord knows we have to wait and see on Marcus Mariota. He's going to have to stay healthy. Dear God. God knows that. Okay, we know that. But this is an improved football team. And right now, it's a healthy football team. And there are some injuries going on in this league. We skated by injury-free as far as I know right now. So we eating good this week. But let's stay humble, Tennessee Titans fans. I know everyone wants to ring the bell. I mean, y'all follow me on Twitter if you do. If you don't, you should follow me right now at the MJ Take. Whenever I'm tweeting during the game, I go crazy. I'm overreactionary. That's my move. But seriously, let's relax. Okay, it's just one game. Don't sound the alarms. Don't start, calling out other NFL fan bases saying, "Oh, we here now. What's up? Tennessee Titans here now. Super Bowl contenders. Look out for us." Blah blah. No. Let's keep it humble. Let's keep it quiet. I don't want the spotlight on us yet. Let's just keep playing good Tennessee Titans football, right? Because I'm telling you, it's week 1. This could easily be taken away before you know it. So let's just relax. We got the Indianapolis Colts next week with Jacoby Brissett. Let's see how they do right now against the LA Chargers, and we'll take it from there. So with that said, I'll move to first the chat, and then I'll move to the other games, the other early games, just looking through the results, even my quick thoughts on that, and then we'll get out of here. But again, you have to love this victory for us Tennessee Titans fans. We have a couple super chats I want to mention. Brandon Smith, thank you for the super chat. He says 1-0, and McRan says good work. Thank you for those super chats, gentlemen. All right, so anything in the chat, if you have any questions, send them now. Texas Toast asked, did Nate Davis play? I don't think so. No, he did not. And actually, who did play right guard? I want to say it was Jamil Douglas, actually. But I actually did not even notice who was playing right guard. I should have. But I actually did not notice. I'm pretty sure it was Jamil Douglas, though, because Kevin Pamphile was having some injury problems. D. Davis, 24, asked, what about Jonnu Smith? What about Jonnu Smith? I mean, maybe he blocked well. I didn't see any specific plays. I have to go to the film room to really look at that. But I mean, I like the one catch that he had, but it was still only one catch that he had. I don't think there's anything really noteworthy for Jonnu Smith. But the one catch that he had was good. He got some yards after the catch. It was only like 2 or 3 yards after the catch, but he got some yards after the catch, so I like hearing that. Don Yellowno asks, what do you think about Arthur Smith? Yeah, it was great today. I mean, it was pretty damn good. We had some, you always want to nitpick, offensive coordinators more than we should. But, so there are a couple of play calls, I would have liked to have back, and I would have called something different. But for the most part, they did a pretty damn good job. I mean, I just would have liked to, have run Derrick Henry a little more early. But other than that, he did a pretty damn good job. That's an A performance for Arthur Smith, man. A performance for Arthur Smith. JJ asks, what are your thoughts on Lamar Jackson today? I have some Lamar Jackson stands and fans, in my mention saying, hey, Lamar Jackson, look at Lamar Jackson. Hello? What did I tell you? Literally this week, I told you. The Baltimore Ravens are going to kill the Miami Dolphins. I told you, I implored you, I begged you to pick the Ravens -7, to bet on them big. I also told you that they were going to blow them out, and they alone, as a team, are going to beat the over for the whole game. The over-under was 37.5. I told you the Ravens alone will beat that because the Dolphins are going to give them those points. I told you this. It is no shock to me whatsoever that the Ravens blew out the Dolphins today. It is no shock to me whatsoever that Lamar Jackson blew out the Dolphins today, that he has success against the Dolphins today. Call me when he does something against a real team. The Dolphins are the worst team in the NFL. I don't care what anyone does against the worst team in the NFL. I don't care ever. Ever. I don't care. I told you this is what was going to happen. It happened. I'm not shocked by anything. So he still has plenty more to prove. Look at his last game before this game. Playoff game he couldn't throw. We can't just forget that. I know it was 9 months ago, but don't forget that. All right, what else do we have here? Wolf's game as how about Delaney Walker? I mean, he was fantastic. Delaney Walker was fantastic. He's back. He's confident. You have to love it. You absolutely have to love it. All right, the Toad Ninja said, has your opinion changed on the Browns? No. I expected them to win today, but as I said in my Browns prediction video, they're going to start off slow. I think they're going to start, what was their record? I mean, what was their schedule again? I think I said like 2-4. I have them starting actually this season, and then I have them catching fire like they did last season, but this year actually going 10-6 and making the playoffs as a wild card, but have the Steelers win the division. Nothing changed for me. Baker Mayfield still slinging that rock. Now you have some interceptions today, some mistakes that he definitely needs to clean up on for sure. And, I thought they should have ran the ball more with Nick Chubb. I thought they were just being way too aggressive, throwing the ball too much. I know Baker Mayfield today said, or not today, but this week said in press conference or interview, whatever, that, our wide receiver is going to get against the Titans defensive backs. I don't know what defensive back you're watching. These are not guys who want to challenge. So I thought they should have ran the ball more with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's a beast. I don't know why you wouldn't run the ball more with Nick Chubb, because he was having success, dog. He was having success. So right now, our defensive line is probably our weakest unit on the defense. So I don't even probably it is. So I don't know why you wouldn't attack that. They didn't, and they lost the game. But, Freddie Kitchens, though, the biggest thing, he's going to have to teach his team some damn discipline. You can't just come in like, hey, I'm the new head coach. We're going to run some offensive stuff. And then, just be so undisciplined, though, in terms of all the penalties. 18 penalties at 17 penalties they had today. That's ridiculous. It's absurd. You have to keep your team under control. And obviously, he hasn't been preaching that enough in training camp and in practice. So that is something to look out for. And Solo Dolo says, I'm telling you, the Browns won't live up to the hype. They're frauds, in my opinion. Maybe. But, look, it's just early. This is a team that we know. I mean, let's not overreact. This is a team that we can just look at and know it's going to take a while. There are so many new pieces, so many new faces, new head coach, new wide receiver, Odell Beckham that's going to demand attention, new defensive coordinator in there. It's just going to take a little time to gel. Now, the scary thing is, and I just put up their schedule, they're going to face the New York Jets next week, who just lost this week. So it's a must-win for both teams. Then they face the LA Rams. That could be an 0-3 start. And then they go to face Baltimore. That's a 1-3 start. They're going to win one of those games, to me, one of those next three. And then they go face the San Francisco 49ers. They're probably going to start 1-4. That's probably a 1-4 start for this team. Jesus. And then it keeps getting worse. They face the Seahawks at home, and then they go face New England. Okay, then after that, it gets better. They face the Broncos, Bills, home against the Steelers, versus the Dolphins, going to the Steelers, Bengals, Cardinals, Ravens, Bengals. So they're going to start probably 1-4, and everyone's going to start freaking out. I won't. Although, they're going to be right on that line. Don't get me wrong. But I'm sticking with them to make the wild card. I'll stick with that. I have no problem sticking with that right now. I'm not, overly confident about that, but I am pretty confident about that. I expected them to win today, but I expected a slow start for the Cleveland Browns, so it's not that shocking to me. Sorry, I think there's a little bit of lag, but it should fix up soon. I'm still going, right? Okay, good, I am. Okay, just a couple more, and then I'll just talk about the early games. That's a joke. I'm going to respond to that one. Okay, last one, and then we will get out of here with Titans talk, and then we'll do early game talk. All right, so Scooter Miles asks, do you see us winning the AFC South, and how far do you see us going from what we've watched? Now, nothing changes for me today. Okay, we need to be clear on that. Nothing changes for me today. Although I had us losing today, I'm not going to change my win-loss total. It's 11-5. It's not changing. It's 11-5. This is the third best team in the AFC. Period. Okay, you can complain to your mama, you can complain to your daddy, you can complain to your grandpa, your grandma, your daughter, your son, your child, your nephew, your niece. That's fine. This is an 11-5 football team, third best team in the AFC. That's on period. The problem is, they're the third best team in the AFC. I just don't see them beating the Chiefs and the Patriots in January right now. I didn't see it before the season. I don't see it now, but we have a lot more to see. I just want to know, can our offense be consistent? It was good that we still put up the 43 points we put up today. Obviously, Butler gave us the last 7 points there. So offensively, we had, 3 touchdowns passing and then 1 touchdown rushing. So offense put up, and also the defense had a safety too. So the offense put up how many points? 28 points. And then we had the safety, and then we had the return for a touchdown, and then 2 field goals. So offense put up 34 points. That's pretty damn good. But I just wanted to see us be more consistent. The passing game was just a little erratic. We got the big plays from A.J. Brown more so than, us just, moving the football down the field methodically like I know we want to do. So I want to see more of that. If I do, then we'll start talking about us potentially beating the Chiefs and the Patriots in the playoffs. I had the Chiefs losing today to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They won today. They still put up 40 points against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense in Jacksonville. They're still damn impressive, people. And we'll see about the Patriots later today, but they just signed Antonio Brown. And look, we can beat them in Tennessee. We beat them in Tennessee last year. In New England, in the playoffs, that's a different damn story. So, if we can somehow, and it's early for these talks, and I don't want to jinx us, so I don't even want to go down this road because it's just crazy. It's like we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got too much dip on our chip. But if we can have a strong 12-4, 13-3, if, I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm saying it's on the table. Right? I don't know if we're going to pick that card, but it's on the table. If that happens and we win home field advantage, then we'll be having a different conversation. But right now, 11-5, third best team in the AFC. I'm not changing one thing that I had in the preseason. So with that said, let's move on to the other results and news from the rest of the games, early games for the NFL. We have some games going on right now as well, and I should be back tonight for Sunday Night Football. But we'll see about that because it depends how much I want to screw myself over by getting no sleep tonight before starting the work week tomorrow. All right, so let's start with this. Let's start in division, actually. Let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars as Nicholas Foles breaks his collarbone, breaks his clavicle. He will be out for at least 6 weeks. Now, it depends on the severity of the injury, but at least 6 weeks, but probably more like 8 to 12. That's really like more what collarbone injuries look like. So Gardner Minshew, and I don't know who this is. Gardner Minshew is now the quarterback, and he did well today. He was 22 of 25 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 122.5 passer rating. He comes from Washington State. He was drafted in the 6th round. Look, he might have done well today. I think that's more so due to the Chiefs' defense just being awful. I think anyone could do well against the Chiefs' defense, to be quite honest with you. I'm not really worried about this guy. However, I wasn't really worried about Nick Foles either. You guys know I've been on the record. I think Nick Foles is going to have a bad year this year anyway. I thought he was going to disappoint in Jacksonville anyway. I told you this Nick Foles thing was going to be a disaster. And now, due to injury, it at least was starting off as one. So, that's very unfortunate, though, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Leonard Fournette bounced back a little bit. Unfortunately, they were down pretty much most of the game. They couldn't run him enough. But 13 carries for 66 yards is very good. They just couldn't run him enough. And then DJ Chark had a great game, 4 receptions, 146 yards, and Sammy Watkins on the other side went off. But, Jaguars defense, you have to be disappointed, man. I know Patrick Mahomes is a beast. He continues to be a beast. He's an absolute beast and a stud and a beast. But, you can't give up 40 points at home in the home opener. You just can't do that. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes continues to be an absolute stud. LaShawn McCoy looks like, he had 10 carries, 81 yards. It looks like he's ready to start probably over Damian Williams soon and really contribute to this team. And Samuel Watkins finally showing his Clemson and Buffalo Bills self in Kansas City. That's a very scary thing. Tyreek Hill was down with the shoulder injury as well. I'm still waiting on word on that. If anyone in the chat knows what the update is on that, I'd love to hear it. But, if he plays this well, the Chiefs are scary offensively. And they already were, but they're even scarier. So good win for the Chiefs. Unfortunate for the Jaguars. And we'll see. I don't want to take too many conclusions away, but, obviously with Nick Foles down and Gardner Minshew, they're probably going to be about the team I expected, about a 7-9 football team this year, maybe worse. But I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I don't even think the Nick Foles to Gardner Minshew thing, I don't think that's a big drop-off. I don't even know who Gardner Minshew is. All I know is that Nick Foles to me, should not be starting in the NFL. And Gardner Minshew is not a starter in the NFL. Now he is, but he wasn't coming into this year. So, not a big drop-off to me. Sorry. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be... he did well today, so I really don't think there's much of a change there at all, to be honest with you. So, I still have the Jaguars going 7-9. All right, so we also have the LA Rams defeating the Carolina Panthers 30-27. Damn it, because I have the Rams -3 in this game, and of course it has to push. But, whatever. I'm still, right now, I'm 2-0-1 for my guarantees this week, so still doing quite well in terms of my bets. But, quiet day for Goff, only 186 yards, and Todd Gurley annoying us fantasy owners, only 14 carries. Yeesh. Maybe this knee thing is a problem. I drafted him early in some leagues. That's unfortunate to see. But you also saw Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp do some things. Christian McCaffrey's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I remember I had him ranked. People were sleeping on Christian McCaffrey. When he was drafted to number 8 by the Panthers, people were like, that's so high. I'm like, are you guys nuts? This is one of the best running backs to come out in the league in a while. I had him in that class. I want to say I had him number 8 overall in that class, that 2017 NFL draft. He's a beast. Yeah, absolute receiving back, one of the best receiving backs of all time, honestly. And then he's able to run the ball well as well. He's not a bell cow, but hey, he had 19 carries for 128 yards. Maybe he is a bell cow for 2 rushing touchdowns. That's pretty much a bell cow. So he's not the traditional bell cow in terms of like a big stud, that can't be broken. But I don't know. He's been healthy. So I like Christian McCaffrey. And the Panthers, you lose this one, but I still think you should like your team right now. You'll be a playoff contender for sure. How did my boy Brian Burns do? Brian Burns didn't have a sack, but he had a couple of quarterback hits, 2 quarterback hits. So I'm looking at for Brian Burns. That is my sleeper pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Not even a sleeper pick. That is my pick, but the pick itself is a sleeper. But good win for the Rams. I just expected this, to be honest with you. I don't think there's really much to take away from this game. Again, I just saw that little brief highlights and anything. I don't know anything really significant that happened, but I expected this. Let's just move on. Yeah, Ravens killed the Miami Dolphins. Another thing I expected, I said, literally go watch my video. I literally said, this is going to look a lot like the Baltimore Ravens when they blew out the Buffalo Bills week 1 last year. I literally said that. And it was even worse. I said, I was wrong on this. I said, it won't be that bad. I was wrong. It was worse. Last year they won 47-3 over the Bills. Now they win 59-10 over the Dolphins. Ridiculous. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns. I don't care. Sorry. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Don't get me wrong. But I just can't remove the horrible stains I have in my head for Lamar Jackson. And look, even Robert Griffin III came in with 6 of 6 for 55 yards and a touchdown. I just think the Dolphins stink. I'm sorry. To me, they just stink. I don't care what anyone does against the Miami Dolphins. They might go 0-16. I don't think that they will because they face the Bills and the Jets enough. But they might go 0-16. So we'll look out for that. And, shame on any of you that drafted Kenyon Drake or Kalen Ballage. I know they're starting, or at least, one of them is starting. I don't even know which one is. But I know they're expected to have a big load here. But, guys, the Dolphins stink. You can't pick anyone on this team. Not one player. Not one player on the Dolphins is worth drafting in fantasy. Not one. Including defensively. It may be Minkah Fitzpatrick, but even that is a stretch. So, I don't really play defensive fantasy anyway, though. But you look at their running backs for Baltimore, Gus Edwards, and Gus Edwards didn't do that well, but Mark Ingram, 2 touchdowns, 107 yards, 7.6 yards a carry. Okay, he did great. And Anthony Levine. I mean, Jesus, the team, my God, look at this team. With Lamar Jackson only having 6 rushing yards, the Ravens still had 265 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The Dolphins just stink. I don't care what anyone does against the Dolphins this year. But Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, okay, welcome to the NFL, 147 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Welcome to the NFL, Marquise Brown. And I had him as the number 3 wide receiver in this draft for a reason. I thought he was a first-round talent. I had him behind A.J. Brown before they were drafted. That's not me being revisionist. That's not me being biased. That's what I had before they were drafted. We'll see. It's going to be a battle for a while. But you love seeing that if you're a Hollywood and or Marquise and or Ravens fan. We also had the Minnesota Vikings defeating the Atlanta Falcons. So, I don't want anyone here to panic. I don't want the Vikings fans to feel really confident about this win. I mean, you should like it. It's a win. It's a good win. But I don't want you to say, okay, now we're Super Bowl contenders or anything. Look at this. Is this true? Is this ESPN stat line true? I only see Kirk Cousins 8 of 10, 98 yards. This has to be wrong. I'm going to assume that's wrong. If that's the case, Jesus, there's no way, though. There's really no. But Dalvin, well, maybe. I don't know. They run the ball a lot as Dalvin Cook had 21 carries himself, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it looks like he's finally breaking out and being the running back we all thought he'd be coming out of college. Actually, this might be true. This would explain why Stephon Diggs didn't do anything for my fantasy team, dog. I was so frustrated. Oh, at least Thielen got a touchdown from my other league. Okay, that's good. But, man, all right, that explains something. But, it's a good win for the Vikings, for sure. But, we still have a ways to go here. I don't want to take too many conclusions for both teams. The one, concerning though for the Falcons, you still can't run the ball well. Devontae Freeman, 8 rushes for 19 yards. Ito Smith, you guys ran him a little bit. He had some success, but not enough. Only 31 yards. So, it's just more of the same from the Falcons right now. But it's only week 1, I don't want to take too many conclusions away from week 1. But if you're a Falcons fan, it's a little disappointing. I expected you guys to lose this game, but in better fashion than this. So it's a little disappointing. You only put up 12 points, and you're getting shut out into the 4th quarter, so that's pretty disappointing. We also had the Buffalo Bills defeating the New York Jets, and I told you in my picks video, it's a toss-up. I might get this wrong, and that's fine. I'll take that. I'll pick whoever doesn't win this game to win the next one. So the Jets lost at home here. I think they can return the favor and beat the Bills in Buffalo whenever they face again. But Sam Darnold only 175 yards on 41 passing attempts, so that's not great. Le'Veon Bell okay in his debut as a New York Jet, 17 carries, 60 yards. And as I'm telling you, he's not going to have a great year like some people think he is. I considered him for a comeback player of the year, but I just decided not to go down that road, or that road, whichever one. And, I don't know. But he did well catching other receiving touchdown. But I just thought that this offensive line for the Jets is good enough. I don't think it's good enough at all, to be quite honest with you. And the wide receivers aren't great either. But, hey, Jamison Crowder, Jesus, 14 receptions for 99 yards. So hope you had him in your PPR leagues. That's some good PPR stats for your ass right there. All right, we also had the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen apparently was looking better. I still see 2 interceptions here, which I don't like to see. But, apparently he led them down for, the comeback. And I'll watch the tape, and I'll let you guys know later. But, maybe he's showing some signs of progression. I'll have to watch the tape on that. But 2 interceptions, you don't like to see that. Devin Singletary, only 4 carries. Wow. But he had 70 yards. And his longest was only 23 yards. So it looks like he had a number of big plays, but they didn't run him enough. That's bizarre. They ran a lot of Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going to get hurt. He runs the ball too much. I know he's big. He's 6'5", 6'6", whatever, but he's going to get hurt if he keeps running around like this. He's getting ridiculous. 10 rushes for Josh Allen, the quarterback, and 38 rushing yards. This is insane. But he had a touchdown as well, so there you go. And then Frank Gore, 11 carries. The vampire, the Walking Dead, Frank Gore. I mean, him and Tom Brady should just, my God, they should give whatever serum that they're on to stay so ageless, lead us to this cave of wonders so that we can get into this fountain of youth. It's ridiculous with these guys. But John Brown, 7 receptions, 123 yards for John Brown. Wow. I'm not high on John Brown or Cole Beasley or this entire Buffalo Bills receiving core right now, but that's impressive. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not think John Brown. I mean, you can have these type of games, don't get me wrong, but it's impressive, especially against this Jets secondary that is much improved. So I'm looking out for John Brown now. Okay. But Cole Beasley gave you Cole Beasley stats, 5 receptions for 40 yards. And who is this guy? Tommy Sweeney. I don't know who that is, but he also did a little thing or some things as well. With that said, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. They came back and they defeated the Washington Redskins. They were down in this game 20. I think it got as bad as 17-0, maybe even 20-0. But they were down at least 17-0. Came back, roared back for a 32-27 victory. Carson Wentz, showing why he's an MVP candidate to me. 28 of 39, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So great game for him. He's better than Dak Prescott. Although I have Dak Prescott winning the Super Bowl right now. All right, so rushing-wise, they ran a lot with Miles Sanders, but he didn't have much success. 11 carries, 25 yards. That's frustrating. Luckily, I didn't draft any Philadelphia Eagles running backs, actually in fantasy, but it's just frustrating for some of you fantasy owners. Deshaun Jackson, beast. And I told you, didn't I tell you? It's early, but I told you, Deshaun Jackson is going to lead the pack for this Eagles wide receiver core, and he led the pack today. 154 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He's still a beast, guys. I mean, this guy can still play. He's at home. He's comfortable. This guy's going to eat this year. Pick him up in your fantasy leagues. And then Washington, Case Keenum has some good stats for you. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 380 rushing yards, or passing yards, excuse me. I don't know why they lost the lead, though. I would assume, because he was only sacked once, so I would assume that, he just couldn't make all the plays. But the running game wasn't there. 10 carries for 18 yards for Darius Geis. And this is why, again, this week 1 is early. It's only 1 game. But this is why I'm not assuming that the Redskins are going to do anything until they do. Offensively, like Darius Geis, yeah, he's a great name at LSU a year ago, but I don't know if he's going to have success in this league yet. I don't know that yet. He didn't have success today. Against a great Eagles front. Trust me, I understand that, but that's nothing. Okay, the 10 carries for 18 yards is literally nothing. And then Terry McLaurin, is this the guy in the Redskins, receiving core right now? Terry McLaurin, he had 5 receptions, 125 yards and a touchdown, I guess so. But I'm staying away from these Washington Redskins wide receivers right now. I'm staying far, far away. But at least you like to see that if you're a Washington Redskins fan. You couldn't get after the quarterback, though, and neither could the Eagles. Only 1 sack for each team. So with that said, that does it for all of the early games. So those are my thoughts on the early games. I'll move to the chat one more time, and then I'll get out of here because I have more football to watch, my friend. But, yeah, good first week right now in the NFL. And I woke up this morning. I was just so excited. It's just nice to play football again. It's nice to be excited about football again. And anytime we can get football, man, I'm always celebrating. I'm always a happy, happy, happy man. Oh, my chat is updating right now. I'm waiting on that. Dylan Clayton asks MJ, do you think Delaney Walker will have a 1,000-yard season? No. No. But I think he come down with 700. I mean, he didn't have many yards today. I think he only had like maybe 30 yards today. Let me check the box score again. But I think it was only like 80 yards, or not 80 yards. Sorry, 30 yards for Delaney Walker today. So how's he gonna have 1,000 receiving yards? No. But could he get 10 touchdowns? That's more of a conversation, right? That is definitely more of a conversation. So I look more at like what his touchdown number will be, and thinking thinking that that's going to be high, as opposed to looking at his receiving yards, because I don't think that's going to be very high. Oh, Patrick Motes. We have a super chat from Patrick Motes. He says, good work, MJ, and good win, Titans fans. Hashtag tighten up. Thank you, Patrick Motes, for that. Just a couple more. And there's nothing I specifically want to tackle here. Okay, I'll answer one more. Okay, two more. Solo Dolo asks, what's my opinion on EDP 445? I mean, he's fine, whatever. He has his shtick, and he does his shtick. But he's entertaining, for sure. He's definitely entertaining. And then Texas Toast asks, how many yards for A.J. Brown? Well, I might have to recalibrate because I only had him down for like 600 this year, but he's already at 100 now. So I'm going to readjust right now and say, give me 900 for A.J. Brown. I think he really has an impact. He's 100 yards ahead of Corey Davis right now, so we're going to keep our eyes on that, man. But, hey, if your Titans fans are still in here, man, good win. And, hey, next week we got the Indianapolis Colts facing their backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. And then the Thursday Night Football game, Week 3, we're facing a backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew. Woo! All right, and hey, a lot of people are gonna say 3-0 already. Relax. Let's stay calm. Let's stay humble. Let's not, put too much dip on our chip. Okay, let's relax. Let's take it one step at a time. But I like where we're headed. So with that said, thank you for joining me. This has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.